Welcome to the Circle Time Studio. I'm Esther. So we talked about parenting styles. We understand why it's important to be aware of them. When you have co-parents, two parents, more than two parents, parents and grandparents, parents and aunts and uncles, and you have different styles of parenting throughout, it can be very confusing to a child, and it can be chaotic in a family setting. That's another thing to take into account as far as parenting styles. Does everybody who is a leader for your child have the same approach to leadership? If you don't, that can be crazy making, and it can be very difficult for a child to try and figure out because the expectations are different. And the affect even of a child's demeanor, and face and the way they say things, the demand can be that those change per parenting style. What a gift to a child to not have to figure that out. And what a gift to you to have a child who doesn't understand changing personalities or affect as quickly as they change the person who's talking to them. Because if a child learns that, I think it can make life not only harder, but ingenuine. It can teach them how to manipulate, really, is what it comes down to. A great goal to have in mind would be to get all adults on the same page, hopefully agreeing on an approach and practicing. If it's not an approach that comes naturally to you, practice and go easy on yourself, because practicing is hard and learning new skills is hard, and it takes, I think I've heard it takes like 400 times of doing one thing to get the habit of doing it that way. Or it takes 3 months. I think that's for schedule changes. But anyway, it takes a long time. It takes patience, and it takes practice and support. So remember to have the same level of support for yourself as you do your children and as you do your co-parents, and patience. And remember, it takes time. And in order to grow, we need to do it as a team. Okay, this next little tidbit is might be a bit of a rant, but I just want to approach it and address it before too much time passes, because I think it's important. I think some people, they have a valid point, and I hear them. Kind of like that saying about throwing the baby out with the bathwater. This idea that books on parenting have changed through time. Parenting experts have changed what they say through time, or even right now, different parenting experts will be saying different things. And I'm not claiming to be an expert. I just can't say that enough. But also, yeah, of course, because psychology, we learn so much throughout the years. We are constantly learning more about the brain and the way it functions. And society, hopefully, progresses as well. We know so much more, and we function so differently now than we did 800 years ago. So, of course, it changes. Our views on the expectations of even human beings have changed so much, even in the past 50 years. Throughout the generations, things change. And that just makes sense to me. So people saying there are no such thing as parenting experts, or why should I listen to them? They're only going to change their mind in 10 years or 5 years, or one of them is saying this one thing and the other one is saying this other thing. Right. However, there are people out there who are saying parenting is hard. I don't like my kids. There are things that I'm hearing in social media, and there are a lot more people saying these negative things than there are people who say, why should we listen to experts? Or why should we listen to psychologists? Or why should we listen to our doctors? But whatever. Don't throw the baby out when you throw the bathwater out. If you want to affect change in your life, find the right tools. Find tools that fit your lifestyle and your goals and the way that you want to approach relationships. Please don't just stick your fingers in your ears. We want to be thriving. We want to experience life in a positive way. At least I do. I hope other people do as well. I want to experience positive relationships with my kids. I want to see them grow. I want to see them be able to discover that they can do things that they didn't know that they could do last year or 2 months ago. That excites me. and if that's stupid, that's okay with me. I am just fine looking stupid if it also comes with celebrating and feeling happy and feeling a sense of accomplishment. So here's some pictures of us being so super silly today because we were feeling down in our house and we needed a pick-me-up. And with that, maybe a little conclusion. We are all doing the best we can. We are all probably making mistakes along the way, and it's okay. That's okay, as long as we note them and note the need for change, and then go search for tools and solutions to make that change happen. I just see nothing wrong with that. It's so exactly the reason I'm out here doing my thing. So come along and join me if you want to.